Hey, it's Easter Sunday, 11:30 here. The rest of you are probably having early supper, maybe not. I'm just going to show the mess we ended up with after losing the neighbors. That fence right there was going to get replaced anyway. And we moved the lot. That used to be the south side of the lot all the way through, went through over to the manure barn. It was offset a little at that end, but not much. Project started a few years ago. We filled the cow lot back in because over time it sunk. Halfway between where that heifer's standing there with her head in the feeder, halfway between there and the manure barn, there's actually about 6 feet of fill in there in the lot to get it built back up. And I made we had a bunch of old water pipe, made a bunch of posts out of it that we're gonna just weld the cattle panels to, the 1/4-inch screen ones. And that hasn't got done yet. So, when we lost the neighbors, we brought all those panels that were up there behind our shop and put them here so we could keep these guys in someplace and give them some room. They got a hell of a mess down there where that feeder is. In fact, part of that's up over the top of the feeder on the outside. And this mess still here of the old fence, but we can't get into it to do anything with it until everything finishes drying out, because I can't get there from, I got to get there from that way. We're going to split this part of the place up, I guess, because this group's only going to be able to go out here. That maple tree in the middle of the screen, that's on the other side of the bridge. We're going to run a wire from where the gate is down here at the bottom of the hill into the neighbors, where we don't need a gate anymore. Wire from there straight to the power pole, and then I think it's going to go a straight line from the power pole over to the gate by the bridge that comes into this piece. And we're probably going to run a lane down right here. We used to have a lane here anyway just to get into the neighbors. Run a lane down here so they can get to the other side over there. Mom, oh, well, it's hard to split that. Yeah, but we got to split it up. We don't have a choice. Otherwise, these girls are going to be on this part of the place and won't be able to rotate or nothing. And if we put the fence there, I don't know which irrigation we're going to use. If we can use that big gun here, I might have to put it on the other side of the old creek bed. But I'm thinking just this side of the creek bed, and it's going to shoot clear up here into the lot, probably. So if we can run it down here, that's going to be one pass. One pass here, and the next pass, if it's up against the fence in the hayfield, will cover the rest of it pretty much. Of course, we can always set it so it doesn't do full width. Don't have to go all the way around. But I'm just kind of seeing what we got to do. Wishing we'd have had time to do it right down here, because none of this crap would be here. Part of what was here was old bolted together rough cut 2x6s that, they were panels Dad made when I was a kid, so most of them are 40, 50 years old. Yeah, I know, needs to get out of there. Number 2 took a bunch out here a couple weeks ago, and they've knocked more off. It's gonna happen. So that's what we got going on. Kind of a lazy day. The girls decided they had to play paint the fingernails and put fake nails on or whatever else today. Yeah, okay. They've earned some goof off time. I think I have too, but I was figuring on having the fertilizer tender empty today, and I just got to figure out where to go with it. I think I got enough left there for about 30 acres, and I got way more than that to do, but I don't want to get a field half done and then not get a tender for another week. I mean, right now I have possession of a tender, but I don't know that I got enough ground right now till we get some ground worked and planted. I don't think I got enough to use another full tender yet. I got to go check a bunch of fields and see. But, hey, it's growing. Everybody was talking about how tall it was. This up here always does really well. And it's Well, this tall spot right here is just almost waist high on me. Down there, not so much, but it's a little different everywhere. A couple fields I spread fertilizer on yesterday, it's only 3 or 4 inches tall. And I don't know what the big difference is. I mean, yeah, there's different grasses everywhere. A lot of it, I think, has to do with cattle being on it and watering it, because we got more growth here than we do in any of the fields that we just hay. They're all fairly short. And most of this place is pretty good. Where the horses are, where that maple tree is, from there on back, from those fir trees there to the right of the screen, that fence goes straight, almost straight east, not quite. They've got at least 8 acres in there, maybe a little more. And they keep it down just because they're out there all the time. So we got to do something different with them too, because we need that for pasture now. Cows usually get some of it. Oh yeah, and here's a wonderful thing too. That nice little fuzzy seed stuff. If any of you don't know what that is, that's groundsel. It's kind of like tansy. They eat it, it kills their liver, they die. And we never had that stuff here. It has a fine leaf, kind of like a tansy leaf. These are kind of matured out, so there's not much leaf to show. There's other weeds in here too. So we hope they don't eat much of it. That's the plan anyway. We never had that until the neighbors went into the government program and they planted all the native plants along the creek. They brought in so many weeds that we'd never seen. There's 3 or 4 weeds they brought in that we went straight to the state with and says, what are these? And they're going, we don't know. Well, they came out of one of your state certified nurseries that all these plants came from. We've never seen it before. Well, then maybe you should be checking these nurseries that you're certifying for growing this stuff. Even the jerk that was in charge of what we call no man's land down there along the creek, the government ground, he's supposed to know all about weeds, and he had no idea what they were. And the groundsel popped up at the same time, and they'd done a really good job of raising it in there. Groundsel will grow year-round. It will go to seed year-round. You know, these plants here, if they're even up to where they might have a bud started and you spray them, they will finish. They will go to seed. And I don't know, there's probably 10 times a year they go to seed. But yeah, something we deal with. We watch for any signs that they've been eating it. It'll look like they have a sunburnt nose, and the cows, their udders will look like they're sunburnt. And it's all related to the liver, so you get them out of the sun, fill them full of some LA300 or LA200, and keep them in the barn for at least a week. And we've been lucky so far, we haven't lost any to it. And, you know, yeah, I can spray it out, but like I said, it still goes right back to seed. These are too damn late. Even the bud that's on that one, I can't see it on the screen. Hopefully you can see it. If I pulled that out right now, and even if I just snap that bud off, that bud will still open up in about 2 days and the seeds will still be there. Very, very pain in the ass plant to get rid of. So we just thank our government for bringing that in for us, and thank our neighbors for going into the government program and then nobody taking care of that strip to ground. We had the option when they did that. They would have paid us to do it. Well, we spray over, well, we don't now, but we used to spray over that fence all the time into there to try to keep the stuff cut down. And used to call them all the time and remind them they're supposed to be taking care of that. But they only allot so much money, so the contractors that do it only come out once a year. That doesn't do anybody any good. Sorry, I just had to gripe. Anyway, hoping That's one of the twins there from last year. I'm hoping that this bull here is getting his job done. And hopefully in the next few days we'll get a couple temporary fences up and we can separate the pregnants from the ones that have calved. And we'll end up having to put a water trough over in the feed barn for the one group. Keep the ones that have calved here in the barn. Unfortunately, there's too many of them to just shove into one pen. Usually we're down low enough on pregnant ones by now that they go into 2-year-olds. And the rest of them go out. Not this year. You have to have the whole thing. And we've split it up here before. It's just a pain in the butt. Especially where I haven't got all this done yet. It'd be different. Make a little difference if all this was actually done like it's supposed to be. And I don't know what we're going to do in here for feeding for the next year. May have to start feeding this group small bales again. And, you know, that's just that much more every day inside. Gets old. Got to move everything by hand in there to feed them. Much nicer to use a big feeder. And yeah, figure we get these out. I'm going to move it so they don't have access to this feeder for a little bit. And we'll clean what we can out of here. Oh well, that's enough. Happy Easter, everyone. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the view. If you don't have it, I hope you're watching so you can enjoy seeing it. Remember, wake up every morning and enjoy God's creations. That's my excuse for not hitting church all the time. Weddings and funerals, that's enough. Doesn't mean I'm not religious. Doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Just means that I don't have to go to town all the time. Alright, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. We'll catch you later.